What it do, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another episode of the Access to Combat podcast, episode 78. Today, we're going to be covering one card, UFC Macau, headlined by Deiveson Figueiredo, going one-on-one with Petr Yan. It's your boy, Ray Boogie, Rayo from the AO Boogie Kahuna, my co-host.
Who got the boss? Who got next? You already know. And before we get into any of that hoopla, you already know the deal. Like, comment, subscribe, follow Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok.
Everybody enjoying these visuals right now? Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to stay up to date.
And for all of our audio listeners, Spotify, Apple, Google Podcast, you already know.
First fight on the card, at men's lightweight, we have Maheshate going one-on-one with Iron Nick Motta. Maheshate is 10-3 overall, fighting out of China, hailing from China, 24 years old. Nikolas Motta, 14-5 overall, fighting out of Las Vegas, Nevada, repping Brazil, 31 years old. Exciting way to kick off the card. Two strikers. Maheshate with the hometown advantage, obviously. I'm going to be leaning Maheshate here for the win. Maheshate is currently 3-2 out of his last 5. Does hold a notable knockout win over Steve Garcia. Motta made a little money on him last time out when they had him matched up against Tom Nolan. There's one thing Nikolas Motta does good, and he boxes. You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
And Tom Nolan, the one thing he does good is not defend. Or at least good for my wallet, you know what I'm saying? So does Maheshate have the same striking defense? I think it's a little better. And for a bet, I kind of like fight ends in KO.
If it's not juicy.
If it's not, yeah. If it's right for the picking, you keep on ticking. I try to do something cool there.
Ready for the farmer's market.
Ready? I feel it in my plumes. Bluish hue. No, but I think Maheshate should win this. I mean, even if this fight, for some reason, goes to decision, it's going to be in Macau. Chinese crowd will be behind Maheshate. But I think Maheshate should get this done by KO. About low-medium confidence, though, because Motta can box, and ain't nobody going to be grappling in this one. So
yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you on Maheshate for the lean, but for a bet, it might be dog or pass. I think Motta, very quick hands, very good power. This is going to be a gunfight. If it's going to stay standing, someone's going to get served. I feel like you flip a coin here. This is a dog or pass spot. I'm not taking Maheshate at minus 200 for what I can tell from these sports books. So the lead is Maheshate, but the bet might be Motta, depending on how disrespectful this line gets in a fight that I think is 50-50 on the feet.
Next fight on the card at men's bantamweight, we have Xiao going one-on-one with, I don't know if you pronounce his name forward or backwards. I'm going to pronounce them both ways, and then I'm just going to pronounce the easiest part of the name. Yeah. There's a lot of fights on this card where I'm gonna struggle, ladies and gentlemen. Xiao going one-on-one with Li Quang. Bang. Li Quang. Or Quang Bang Li. Xiao, 26-9, fighting out of China, hailing from China, 26 years old. Bang Quang, 8-1 overall, fighting out of Minnesota, but repping Vietnam, 33 years old. Everything is kind of telling me I probably should lean Xiao here. I mean, he's the younger guy, slightly bigger guy. He's got 3 times the experience, record-wise, right?
Correct.
But I'm going to be leaning Bang here. Bang Quang. Mm-hmm. Here's why. 1, he trains in America, even though he's only 8-1 and he lost to Gutierrez.
No shame in that.
I don't think it's terrible. It's not the worst loss, but on his resume, in my opinion, I think he has more quality wins and losses. Xiao, I think he's probably better technically. He has decent takedown defense, but I think Quang, sharper, hits harder.
Yes.
And I think he's fought better wrestlers. If Xiao decides to wrestle into him, I'm going to take Quang here, maybe by decision, but I wouldn't be as surprised at a knockout either way. But I'm leaning Quang for the win. And I think this fight is probably line close. If it's not, it should be line close. Give me the guy who trains in America to pull this one out.
Yeah, I'm with you here on this one. I feel like Quang Le, he has the LFA experience, has the better brand of competition. Everyone coming up through China's regional circuit, a little questionable. It depends, right?
Yeah, I think it depends.
There's some guys that are very legit coming out of there. Like India's fight circuit doesn't have like extensive grapplers. You're going to see us talk about that on this card too. There's a lot of things like that are questionable about that side of the world's circuit, as well as the talent around their circuits. But you get your occasional good eggs like Tyra, the Nakatani guy, who's an extremely good wrestler, very good. Even Haraguchi, who probably should have been in the finals for this road to UFC.
Yeah, even Zhang Weili.
Yeah, very, very good wrestlers.
Yeah.
With that said, I like Quang Lei because I think he has fought the better brand of competition, even though he has like a quarter of the experience of Zhao Long. I just don't think that. I think that Quang Lei has the better finishing upside. I actually think I took a nice dog shot on Quang Lei against Chris Gutierrez because he has extremely good punching power. I think Zhao's probably going to walk into a bomb here, get caught. This fight is lined out to pick him, rightfully so, because both of these boys are not necessarily proven. But I'm going to lean with the guy that I think, on same reasons as you did, that has the better resume, in my opinion, has fought more in America, and because most of the best talent is here in America, to be frank. Give me Quang Lei. I'm going to say by knockout. The money line's good enough to play. Quang Lei is the pick.
Next fight at men's flyweight, we have two undefeated prospects going one-on-one. We have Lonir Kavanagh going one-on-one with Jose Ochoa.
Great fight.
Kavanagh, 7-0, perfect. Reppin' China, fighting out of England, 25 years old. Ochoa, also 7-0, also perfect. Fighting out of Peru, hailing from Peru, 23 years old. I mean, great fight. One of the fights I am looking forward to.
Yes.
I mean, again, two young prospects, two guys that I'm actually a bit high on. I guess it's good to just, throw them in there and see what they got, right? Ochoa, Peruvian, so he's got the striking, he's got a chin. But he also trains in judo box.
With Charles
Oliveira. And, he's got some subs. He's got some grappling. And, I never seen a Peruvian with some grappling before, at least, not at the UFC level. So he looks pretty good. And he's going one-on-one with Kavanagh here. Kavanagh, who's a dog, and I think his contender series fight. Excellent striker. Very good all-around fighter in general. Underrated power. I mean, he slept his opponent with like a step back, check, left. Hook.
Yeah, it was fast.
Fast. Excellent fight. I think this should be a pick'em.
Yeah.
It's not lined as a pick'em.
Know what that means, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, it only means one thing. I do think Kavanagh should be the favorite.
Correct.
I'm not going to dispute that. But in terms of a play, I like Ochoa.
Yeah.
Like there's no at the current line that it's at, it's a little disrespectful. So Kavanagh is the pick. Ochoa is definitely probably going to be the play in a fight that should be even, should be fun, should be entertaining, should be a fucking banger.
Yeah, I'm not going to add much onto that. It's an amazing contest. I think this line is completely blown out. I think people are pumped from the contender series and they haven't really done their homework on Ochoa, to be frank. I think this fight's very competitive. I'm going to take a dog shot on Ochoa probably in this fight because I feel like I think Kavanagh is like the real deal. But I think in a fight line so close, you got to go with the dog here, man. I just don't see how Kavanagh is going to cover a minus 375 line unless he sparks him in the first round when he's extremely fresh and powerful, which I think even if he does hit him, I don't think he's going to put him out.
No.
I just don't see it.
Two young guys, two young chins.
Yeah. This is arguably the future of this division.
100%. Let's
just call it what it is. It's just a great fight.
Highly touted prospects.
Oh, yeah. But for that reason, Kavanagh's the lean. Ochoa is definitely the dog play in this contest.
Next fight on the card at men's 145 featherweight, we have Zhu Quanji, a.k.a. the Hypnotist, a.k.a. One Punch Man, going one-on-one with Zibin, a.k.a. the Stalker. Zhu is 20-4, fighting out of China, hailing from China, 28 years old. Z is 13-4, fighting out of China, hailing from China, 26 years old. Now, this is one of four final road to UFC fights at the featherweight division. These guys are fighting for a contract, fighting to get in. This is probably one of the tougher fights to kind of break down here because I think they're both good strikers. Zhu more of the pure kickboxer. He's got the kickboxing background.
Very good takedown defense as well.
Yes.
Exceptional.
I meant more of the pure striker, right?
Yes.
Zibin also got a solid jab. You're right. More of the all-around better MMA guy because he can go to the grappling. I don't think it's going to be that much of a factor here. I think both guys kind of want to stand up. And I think I'm probably going to be leaning Bin for the win here. It's a toss-up. I think it's lined very close. I think it's literally
It's appropriate.
Very appropriately. And I can't fault anybody if you want to go Zhu. I think Zhu is currently the slight favorite. Zhu, fast starter. He likes to run right at you with the flying knee. Shit off rip. Both guys good. Both guys got good cardio. But give me Z here. I think Z's the pick, and I don't know if I want to bet this one, if I'm being completely honest, but it's give me Z.
Yeah, it's a tough fight to call. It's one of the harder fights on this card to call. I feel like Ben is the lean, and Ben is the lean just simply because he has the wrestling upside. If he wants to go to the wrestling, even though this guy is he has exceptional takedown defense. I just feel like Ben is an X's and O's guy. We kind of heard that in the broadcast. We kind of did some background check into that too. He is a guy that kind of adapts to his opponents. So I do expect him to implement some wrestling in this fight unless he's crazy or he's very confident that he can knock him out. With that said, just for that simple fact, just because I know he's the guy that will probably push the wrestling and mix in very good striking to get there, I'm going to lean Ben for the win here. Not sure how. It's leans with the money line where you can play it however you want, but this is a fight I'm probably going to stay off of because there's a ton of variables, and I don't like fights with a ton of variables, especially when there's other good spots on this card to bet, in my opinion. So not with the highest degree of confidence, but give me Ben because I think he's a better all-around mixed martial artist.
Next fight on the card at men's bantamweight, we have Jiu-Jitsu. Yu Su Young going one-on-one with, oh man, I'm sorry, I'm gonna mess this one up. Jenisuly Balgyn? I hope so. I think I nailed the Jenisuly part, but you 13-3.
I'm not fighting.
No, not me. You.
You? Who's you?
Who's you? Sung Yu. Yu is 13-3, fighting out of South Korea, 28 years old, going one-on-one with Jenisuly, who is 19-5, fighting out of China, hailing from China, 28 years old. I got a side here. I'm leaning Jenisuly. I was gonna say this one's a little tough. I think if it stays standing, it's probably about an even fight.
Correct.
But I think Jenisuly is he's a grappler's grappler. He's a wrestler's wrestler.
By the way, he's the dog, which is crazy.
Is he actually the dog?
He's plus 110 on some sports books.
Yeah, I think Jensuli's wrestling and grappling is just a step above Yu's. I think Yu is decent. I think Jenisuly is going to be able to get his grappling going, take this guy's back or mount them and just go to town. He's vicious. Does he finish? Probably. I might take a stab at his sub prop depending on how it looks. But I mean, ITD is probably safer because I can see ground and pound as well. But give me Jenisuly here for the win.
Yeah, I'm with you on this. I think this is a pure dog or pass spot. But this is a dog. This is a dog that I feel very comfortable playing. This guy has very powerful hands. Although he hits a little harder than you, in my opinion. I think Yu's the better all-around mixed martial arts fighter, but I think Jenisuly, he hits very hard. He's dropped like most of the opponents that I've seen him fight, and if he drops him once, he might wind up on top of you. If he gets on top of you, he might do dirty things to him. And it's not just you, it's me too. I think he is very good. I think this fight is going to wind up on the floor more times than not. And if you're telling me that, I got to lean the dog here, especially at dog money. The guy who I think is going to be able to control the positions as well as land damage and finish the fight from the positions. I think if he gets the opportunity, the fight's 50-50 on the feet, 60-40 if you want to lean you, because I think he has more weapons. But I think on the floor, it's 80-20. I really do. I think Jenisuly is the real deal on the floor. And if when he gets on top of dudes in their fights, it's curtains for the most part. He just smashes them or they just hold on to survive. So give me Jenisuly here. I'm going to say ITD, but you could play his money line as a dog shot.
Next fight at men's flyweight, we have Kira Sahota going one-on-one with Dong Hong Choi. Sahota, 12-2, fighting out of England, repping England, 29 years old, going one-on-one with Choi, who is perfect, 8-0, fighting out of South Korea, hailing from South Korea, 25 years old. Striker versus grappler for the most part here. I'm going to be picking Choi. I think Choi is just a better, more well-rounded MMA fighter. If this fight does stay standing,
it's interesting.
It's a bit interesting. Choi, he can go to all levels. You know, he'll hit the head, he'll hit the body, he'll hit the legs. He'll give you a little bit of everything. It's a sampler piece. You know what I'm saying? Sahota is probably where he wants to keep the fight, is standing. Sahota, I mean, throws in volume, a little bit wild, a little bit reckless, but he hits hard. He'll take one to give one, but his takedown defense is a bit lacking. Also, striking defense definitely lacking. I think Choi is just the side. He's just better overall, and I think Choi, if he decides and when he decides to take this to the ground,
it's going to be easy.
It's probably going to be an easier, you know, maybe decision, maybe sub, but I think Choi is definitely the side for me here.
Yeah, I'm with you on everything you said. I think this is another line I would like to jump on sooner than later. I think he's at minus 150 on some sports books. I feel like this is a wash as soon as he touches his front leg for a single leg. Sahota cannot defend a gust of wind knocking him over. This goes back to my initial point in the initial fight when I discussed MMA levels being different on different sides of the world. Sahota he's from Manchester. I think he's from India.
Yeah, he's of Indian descent, but he trains in England.
Correct.
Yeah.
They don't have wrestling programs over there on the level of China.
No, not on the level of China, no.
It's just what it is. And I just feel like as soon as Choi figures out how easy it is to take this guy down, this fight's a wash. Choi can get whatever he wants from those positions. By the way, both of these guys coming off of, if I'm correct, both of them coming off of questionable decisions where I thought they possibly lost their fights.
I agree. Also, Choi, I just want to throw it out there, even though I do think the fight will be competitive on the feet, he's also a little more hittable than I like. I feel
agree.
A little comfortable with, but I still think he can mix it up and, you know,
get this fight to the floor whenever he wants to. I just have it's a gaping hole in Sahota's game, his wrestling defense. And if he can keep the fight striking, sure, he's very good at getting up against the cage. But the thing is, you have to hope he's against the cage and not crawling to the cage. Because if this is in the open mat, which he has been taken down before, Choi's going to do whatever he wants to, in my opinion. And he's going to make him work getting to the cage walk to get back up. I think this is Choi's fight to lose, man. At minus 150, it's a very tempting line to take just because the wrestling edge is there's such a hole in it. Give me Choi's money line. Not sure how yet. Follow us on social media platforms for how, but Choi is definitely the lean here and possibly the bet.
Next fight at women's strawweight, we have Feng Xiaocan going one-on-one with Ming, the doctor. Feng is 10-2, fighting out of China, hailing from China, 22 years old. Ming, the doctor, is 16-5, fighting out of China, hailing from China, 30 years old. Now, when you see these two women face off, eventually when they face off, you're going to notice something a bit outrageous. Feng, or Feng, I think it's Feng.
It's Feng.
The way they were pronouncing it. She's a huge woman.
Yes.
Not a huge woman, but she's definitely big for this division.
Very big.
Ming, very small for this division, in my opinion.
Yeah, she probably could be an atomweight.
I feel like if Dana White eventually decides to open up an atomweight division, which I think he should.
Yeah, the talent there is ridiculous.
She fits.
Yes.
Ming fits. I'm going to be picking Feng here. Not with the most confidence, but if this fight stays standing, several inches in height, several inches in reach, she knows how to fight a nice distance fight.
She can fight backwards too.
She can fight backwards. She hits hard. She throws in combination. She trains with Yao Jianan.
Yeah.
So, you know, the striking's, you know, it's
Legit.
up there. Ming, her only chance here is to eat a couple and get in on her and take her down.
Which we don't have a huge sample size on, unfortunately.
But if she can take her down,
yes,
she can take her down because Feng's takedown defense is trash.
Trash.
Absolute trash.
Once again, another example of wrestling on that side of the world not being great. Remember, Zhang Weili had to learn how to wrestle under Henry Cejudo.
Yeah.
She did multiple months of training to learn effective wrestling. Wang can have that physicality at 15 too, but she's got to learn it. And I don't think she's really going to learn it till she commits to moving to the States or commit to training camp to the States. Just the wrestling defense is horrid, just like the last fight that we spoke on. So I'm with you there.
Yeah, so I'm going to be picking Feng here for the win. I think she does win. She can get a knockout. I can see knockout and decision.
Same.
But depending on how the line looks, I like Ming by sub because She can grapple. She has a bunch of sub wins. And if she gets her down, I think she can't sub this girl.
I agree. The only reason we're not more high on Ming here is just because she doesn't typically go to the wrestling.
This fight is going to look like a discount Dollar Tree store version of Marina Rodriguez going one-on-one with Michelle Waterson. You know what? I mean, Waterson didn't belong at strawweight. She's a true atom weight.
She is.
Marina Rodriguez, excellent striker, also with dog shit defense.
Horrid.
Well, takedown defense, right?
Horrid.
I think it plays out similar to that. I mean, I can't confidently back Feng. I'm going to pick her, but I can't confidently bet her knowing that her takedown defense is that trash.
Especially at she's like at minus 300 right now, which I think is, she should win this fight though.
And Ming has like a direct line of victory here. If she can get in on her, she's got to absorb some damage, but if she can get in on her,
There's a chance.
Even at her size, deceptively strong. And if she can take her down, it might be curtains for her.
Like Michelle Waterson and Marina Rodriguez.
So give me Feng for the win. Give me she as probably some kind of crazy dog shot or long shot played that I'm gonna be looking at numbers and I might be punching something.
Punching some value.
Yes. I didn't know how to end that one. So
that's so good. I agree with you 100%. We can move on to the next fight.
Next fight at men's flyweight, we have Carlos Hernandez going one-on-one with Nyamjargal Tumendemberel. I got his last name right. I know I butchered his first name. The Arts of Knockout. That's his nickname. Hernandez, 9-4 overall, fighting out of Illinois, 31 years old. Tumendemberel. He is perfect at 8-0. Fighting out of Mongolia, hailing from Mongolia, 26 years old. Now, normally you would see this fight on paper and go, Tumendemberel. Man, that's going to be a tongue twister. The Art of Knockout. He's probably the side, right? He's undefeated. Mostly I think he's got all finish wins, right? If I'm not mistaken. No, he's got one decision. Mostly finishes, though, right? Carlos Hernandez. He's been finished. He's been knocked out. He's been subbed. Not this fight. Tumendemberel, a little reckless, a little wild with the striking, unorthodox. I can see how he catches some people. I mean, he'll jump up and then just drop an elbow on you like he's the Rock off the top rope. Or, he'll do some spinning shit. I think his bread and butter is the grappling, but his entries are a little, I say so in my opinion. Hernandez, he has been finished, right? But that's been by Tatsuro Taira and Nascimento. Those guys are legit in my opinion.
Agreed.
Tumendemberel, he fights fast, he fights quick, but he burns like a candle on both ends. He will be gassed by the second round. I think Hernandez is the pick. I think Hernandez is the play. I think he rightfully is the favorite here. Does he finish him? He probably does. I kind of like fight ends and sub for a play here, just because I do think there's going to be more grappling than advertised. But I think Carlos Hernandez is going to win this fight. I think he's going to give Tumendemberel his first L.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised at a sub finish either way, but I will be leaning Hernandez by sub.
Yeah, I'm leaning Hernandez as well for all the reasons you mentioned. I think this line flipped for a reason. Hernandez opened up as a dog, and rightfully so. I wish it's a line that we jumped out a little earlier, but sometimes it's not really even our fault. It's just it wasn't available on a lot of our sports books, unfortunately. I think Hernandez is being vastly overlooked because of his recent losses. And I think he's lost to creme of the creme guys. When you're losing and getting melted by those kind of guys, there's no shame in that. And Carlos Hernandez, the one thing I didn't remember that I seen watching his tape, he's actually a pretty decent wrestler. And if this guy is wild, Hernandez's bread and butter is on the floor. So you're telling me wrestling upside, bread and butter on the floor, probably going to get a sub here.
Also, you got decent boxing. And again, if you like the Tumendemberel side, bet him early.
Yes.
It's first round or under round and a half if you like those kind of bets.
Correct. Only thing that worries me about Hernandez in this fight is his age and wear and tear on the tires, but he's not that old and he doesn't have that much wear and tear on the tires where I think someone like Tarimba, I'm not going to pronounce his name.
Hey, you got it. Don't worry about it.
You know what I said.
You heard what I said.
He should be on some Serenable, to be frank, if he's going to win this fight. But I just feel like, Carlos is the better fighter. And I feel like this is a little bit of a market correction. And then the line flipping is a clear indication of what we feel. Give me Carlos Hernandez here.
Next fight on the card, at men's light heavyweight, we have Volkan No Time Oezdemir going one-on-one with the Black Jag, Carlos Ulberg. Oezdemir, 20-7 overall, fighting out of Switzerland, hailing from Switzerland, 35 years old. The young Rock, the young Dwayne Johnson, Ulberg, 10-1 overall, fighting out of New Zealand, hailing from New Zealand, 34 years old. Appropriate step up for Ulberg, in my opinion. I think this is going to be a good fight. I think both light heavyweight fights on this card are going to be a good fight. But this one in particular is going to be very good. I think this is an appropriate step up for Ulberg. I think this is a case of old lion, getting chewed out the pack by the young and up-and-coming lion. He might get Mufasa'd by Scar. The Black Jagged Scar.
Let go of him off the cliff.
And I think Ulberg probably wins this fight. Does he finish Oezdemir? I think there's a possibility.
Yeah, I could see him walking into a good shot. But Oezdemir is tough, man. This dude has a great chin.
But Ulberg's going to be the bigger guy, the longer guy.
Knows how to manage distance better.
The faster guy, in my opinion. And I think Ulberg probably should get this one done. How? I don't know, but he's definitely the pick for me.
I'm with you. For all the reasons you listed, I have a hard time seeing how Volk is going to manage the distance between them. Like that space, especially Ulberg coming into his own now, I feel like Volk is declining and Ulberg is surging. I feel like Ulberg is figuring out who he is as a fighter. This is going to be a tough fight for Volk, in my opinion, to close the space. I really do. I without repercussions. He might not knock him out, but he will sting him. I see that for sure. I think he's going to sting him a few times. And Oezdemir, I think, might have the wrestling upside here. The problem is everyone at City Kickboxing has exceptional takedown defense. They're good at getting to the cage. Even Blood Diamond was decently good at getting to the cage outside of Jeremiah Wells, who is a brute and a hammer.
Yeah,
so
he
can't blame him for that shit.
Yeah, he went full muscle mode on that.
Yeah, guy, so. Just muscled his ass down and took his back. But I just feel like what City Kickboxing is doing with their fighters with their takedown defense, youth, size, speed, power, distance management, precision punching. Oezdemir, I think, does have the wrestling upside. I just don't know if I can even trust how effectively he's going to use it and if I can trust him to use it, because he doesn't typically go to it in fights. I got to lean Ulberg here. And I'll say knockout, but not with the highest degree of confidence. I'm going to go knockout, but Ulberg is definitely leading this fight.
Next fight on the card at women's flyweight, we have the Joker, Wang Cong, going one-on-one with Gabriella Fernandes. Wang is perfect. 6-0, fighting out of China, hailing from China, 32 years old. Fernandes is 9-3, fighting out of Brazil, hailing from Brazil, 31 years old. This fight's probably a wash, in my opinion. I'm all over Wang. Pause.
Yes. Hey, whoa! Oh my goodness, listen, that is crazy.
Yeah, I said it and immediately had to pause. Had to check myself before I wrecked myself. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, you got wrecked.
Oh no, I wrecked.
You wrecked.
That was rough.
That is crazy.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. No, but seriously, I mean, listen, you're gonna the first thing you're probably gonna hear from a lot of other people, Kong Wang, she's got the kickboxing experience, she fought Valentina, she beat Valentina in kickboxing. She's a little bit on the older side, she's a little newish to the MMA stuff, but she's very good. She's developed her ground game. I think in this particular fight, she doesn't have to worry about going to the ground. If anything, she probably will take Fernandes to the ground.
I agree.
So I think Kong Wang by sub is probably sneaky, but I do think Kong Wang inside the distance is probably good if it's decently playable. But give me Kong Wang here. I think she just runs over Gabby here. Unfortunately, like Gabby's gonna want to keep this standing. She wants to strike. She actually hits hard. She thumps. Issue is, I just think Kong Wang is,
much more technical.
Technical, the better striker. She'll mix it up. She'll take her down. And then once Gabby's on the ground,
fish out of water.
It's bad.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate, but give me Kong Wang ITD.
Yeah, I feel like this is a good setup fight. This girl knocked out the last girl she fought. And
Wait, was it a knockout?
Yeah, she starts her.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Remember, in like the first 30 seconds. I think
Victoria Leonardo.
Oh, the soccer mom. Yeah, soccer mom Victoria Leonardo. She looks like a soccer mom.
Clipped her, bro.
Yeah, I seen that fight. It was a clear mismatch. My biggest regret about that fight is not putting more units on the ITD, because I played the ITD and I played the knockout, and I didn't put it more, but she said, get me off the fucking prelims. She's off the prelims. She's on the main card, if I'm correct. Yes, she is.
Yep.
And I expect her to deliver, because I think she's just a better fighter in this instance. I think this feels like a setup fight. It's in China. Give me Kong Wang ITD here.
Next fight at men's welterweight, we have Battle of the Old. Kenan Song, the assassin, going one-on-one with the king of Kung Fu himself, Muslim Salikov. Song, 22-8, fighting out of China, hailing from China, 34 years old. The king of Kung Fu is 20-5, fighting out of Russia, hailing from Russia, 40 years old. I did say Battle of the Old. I mean, Kenan Song's not that old, but in terms of like wear and tear, he's kind of old.
Yeah.
Salikov actually old. This is a good fight. This is probably another fight that's probably a pick'em. I didn't get to check the line on it in particular, but it feels like a pick'em. This one is kind of hard. I'm kind of going back and forth in terms of who I think is going to win. I'm going to lean Song. Song, because if this fight goes the distance, he's in China. He's going to have the hometown crowd behind him. He hits hard. I mean, Muslim Salikov also hits hard, but I do trust Song's cardio a bit more. Also big. He's a big dude for this weight class in general. Salikov, I like him. I'm a big fan of this guy. Comes out hot, hits hard, very fast. So I can see maybe something early from Muslim and maybe something late from Kenan, but he'll get tired, especially if you push him. He'll start to slow down. His strikes won't be as effective. This is going to be a standing battle for the most part, but give me Song here. His powerless carry. He's going to be probably the more cautious fighter. I do think he probably got what it takes to get it done here. But it's a 50-50 fight. I mean, if you go dog here, I don't hate it.
And you did. You did go dog.
Oh, nice. Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Song is the dog in this fight. Muslim sitting comfortably like at minus 160 roughly. This is definitely a dog or pass, but I cannot trust Muslim Salikov's cardio past the second half of the second round, to be frank.
I think I slightly trust Kenan's shin as well.
Yeah.
I mean, even though both these guys hit fucking hard, but
yeah, Muslim, it's crazy. If you've seen him before, for the casual viewers we have, as well as the people who are just not as in tune as we are, he looks like a guy at the bodega, man, that's selling you chopped cheese.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's crazy.
Give you a little salt and pepper on the side, boy.
Yeah,
I want to chop cheese.
That
so
salt
bad
and
right
pepper is a wheel kick to the face. Like, it's crazy how athletic he is. Like, his striking technique is fantastic.
Deceptively quick.
Yes.
Especially early.
And especially at his age.
Yes.
I just feel like in China, Kenan Song's going to get up for this fight. They haven't had a China card in a while. He has what it takes to win this fight. Muslim can wrestle him. That's the only thing I do worry about. But Kenan's wrestling defense is not horrid. There's a guy who almost killed Ian Gary, which I was praying he did. This fight, for all intents and purposes, ladies and gentlemen, it stinks a bit. And it stinks. This is why we're both leading the dog. Because if it stinks like this, you should probably lean the dog and just have a plus ticket. But this is a fight I probably won't bet. I also think these are two older fighters with questionable chins. It's a 50-50 fight. It's not like Motta and Maheshate. Those guys are a lot younger, you know? These guys, double KO. Like, it can happen. Like, for sure. So, I'm going to lean Kenan, but, man, not with the highest degree of confidence, to be frank. So, this is dog or pass purely.
Next fight on the card at men's light heavyweight, we have Ozzy Diaz going one-on-one with the Mountain Tiger, Zhang Miang.
That's a great name.
Yeah, that's a boss-ass name, Mountain Tiger. I could just picture the tiger.
We should have wore like the Carolina Panthers hat and the Jacksonville Jaguars hat, because we have the Mountain Tiger and we have the Black Jag on this card.
Yeah, we got some big cats on this joint.
Big ass cats, bro.
Big ass cats. but you know, not to disrespect, these guys are not pussy. Ozzy Diaz is 9-2 overall. Find out at Los Angeles, California, 34 years old. The Mountain Tiger Zhang is 17-6. Find out of China, hailing from China, 26 years old. Banger of a fight for as long as this fight lasts. It's gonna deliver. Yeah. It's gonna be an exciting fight. I mean, both guys can strike. The last time you seen Ozzy, if you're not keeping up with him on the regionals, was against Joe Pyfer. Down a weight class where, you know, he was able to get his grappling going. And I feel like that's one of Ozzy's strengths. I think the grappling is a little underrated. I think he's, you know, he's semi decent there. But he did lose to Joe Pyfer.
Yeah.
Now he's fighting a guy in Zhang who used to fight at heavyweight, coming down. Now he's very hittable. Don't get that twisted. Don't get that fucked up.
But he's got a fucking chin, man.
But he's got a chin, and he's got tremendous power, in my opinion. I made money on Zhang before. I'm looking to make some more money on Zhang again if I can find anything that's playable.
Yeah, because his line is blown out, which is crazy.
And also he has some subs, you know, so I'm assuming he's got some kind of grappling. But I don't expect this fight to hit the ground. I expect this fight to stay on its feet, probably end within the first 2 rounds. I think Zhang is coming in for the bang. The Mountain Tiger is going to devour his prey here. And Ozzy is going to look like, I don't know, what Ozzy Osbourne probably looks like right now.
Currently.
Yeah. Cooked. Give me Zhang for the win here by KO. That's what I'm feeling.
Yeah, I'm there too. Not with a high degree of confidence. Just this line is so crazy to bet. I'm not betting minus 333 on a guy that gets hit as much as Benoit Saint Denis. It's just not going to happen.
Gets hit, but gets hit more. Like,
yeah, he does.
Yeah,
but his chin is, it's one of the best chins I've ever seen at this level. And what, to your point, he's a guy that I think was a former middleweight. Yeah, he's a former middleweight moving up to light heavyweight. Ming Yang is a former heavyweight moving down to light heavyweight. So he's going to be bigger.
Yeah.
He's going to have the better boxing technique. He's going to have the pressure edge. I just feel like this is his fight to lose. But if this line gets a little crazy, I will sprinkle on Ozzy just because Ming Yang gets hit a lot. But if you're asking me, I think he's going to have a hard time stinging Ming Yang. I think Ming Yang's going to land a big shot and close the show. Give me Ming Yang by knockout as well. Not with a high degree of confidence, but I'm moderately confident that's going to happen.
Next fight on the card. At women's strawweight, and that's currently constituted the co-main event of the evening. We have Yan Xiaonan going one-on-one with Tabitha Ricci. Yan is 18-4, fighting out of China. Actually, no, fighting out of Sacramento, California, but repping China. 35 years old. Tabitha Ricci, baby shark, she is 11-2 overall, fighting out of California herself, but repping Brazil. 29 years old. I'm all over Yan here.
Love it.
I think she's probably better everywhere. Let me not say that. I am worried about a couple things here, but I think Yan knows that going in. First of all, I think she's just the better fighter. Second of all, if this fight stays standing, I think it's
a wash.
I think Yan just pieces her up.
Yeah.
Now, Tabitha Ricci might have the speed advantage. She's not going to have the size advantage here. Yan only has to worry about 2 things here. The cage push grappling, the takedown, and probably some of the jiu-jitsu, because Tabitha is decently decent.
Yeah.
On the ground with the jiu-jitsu. But besides that, I mean, is this a 5-rounder? I didn't get to...
I'm not sure. No, it's 3.
Oh, 3-round fight. I think I like Yan a little more here then. Give me Yan here for the win. Don't know how she gets it done. I'm going to say probably by decision. I don't know. I mean, I think Tabitha's good, but I also think she's one of these other girls. Like, if they opened up the atomweight division, she would probably thrive.
She comfortably makes 15. I think she could get down to 105.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, give me Yan here. I don't know.
I know. And I'm going to tell you guys right now, don't be surprised if we release something later in the day or like this week where I put some heavy units on Yan. Here's how I'm going to get into this. I haven't had this many back-to-back weeks where we've had possible max bet opportunities. That's why I'm a little shaky and scared a bit, but not really. Like, I feel relatively confident about what I'm going to say.
You might be a little locked in, right?
I'm super locked in right now to this. Minus 215, I feel like it's a crazy market correction. I feel like this fight could easily look like a minus 3 to 400. I do think there is a possibility Yan could stop this girl. Tabitha, no disrespect to her. I think she's developing the right way up until now. I feel like this is a little too much too soon. She's a very lovely young lady. She's very attractive. I get all that. That shit's not going to win you this fight. You're fighting Yan in her backyard. she came off a great fight with Zhang, where she arguably got knocked out, subbed, and decision loss in the same fight.
All in one fight.
Which is fucking crazy.
And like, that's not, I mean, that's more credit to, I mean, Zhang Weili, because she's just that
good.
Yeah. The level is just crazy.
She's that good.
She's just a step above everybody in this division.
With that said, Yan was able to piece her to the point where Zhang had to wrestle her down. That's where Zhang really exploited her. The reason she was able to exploit Yan there is because of Zhang's, you got me crazy from earlier.
Hey, yo, pause.
Zhang's physicality.
Yeah.
Tabitha doesn't have that physicality. She doesn't even have the same physicality as Mackenzie Dern. So for me, it's like, how does she get this fight to the floor? Yan would have to make a mistake. She doesn't make many. And when you're knocking out people like Jessica Andrade, who has a historically great chin, and you're able to survive on the floor in certain positions with Mackenzie Dern, who is arguably the greatest female jiu-jitsu practitioner, especially for the time frame that she's had it up until recently, where I think the level of competition's catching up. I just feel like this fight at -215, this is a playable spot at -200. Some books have her at -200. I'm waiting for those books to drop it, because I do believe I'll be making a max 5 to 6 unit play to win 2.5 to 3 units on Yan. How this fight gets done, I think it's probably going to go to decision. But man, if a knockout happened, I'm not looking at it like she's knocking out Andrade on her back foot. She's at home. I think she's going to be motivated for this fight, especially after her performance against Zhang.
Yeah, after that loss, yeah.
She's training in Sacramento, so I'm assuming she's attempting to train some grappling here.
I think she trains with Alpha Male, if I'm not mistaken.
Dude.
Let me double check that. Go ahead.
Oh, dude. Yeah,
yeah, she is. She's with Alpha Male.
So that just goes to show you how good Zhang's wrestling is after working with Cejudo. Because if you're training with Alpha Male, you're working intense wrestling and grappling sessions. And I just feel like if she learned anything from that fight, she's like, shit, I got to get better with the wrestling. Tabitha's only route to victory here is the wrestling.
To get it down.
I don't think she's going to be able to outstrike Yan. I'd be very surprised if that happened. I wish it was 5 rounds, because I'd be way more confident on the ITD. But even with 3 rounds, I feel very confident Yan's going to get this done in her backyard. Tabitha, to win the judges in China, would have to be some UFC send it checks on the spot, or she's going to have to decisively whip her ass. And I don't see either or happening in China. Give me Yan with the highest degree of confidence in this fight. I feel like this is another possible max bet spot. Give me Yan for the victory here.
Next fight on the card, and it's currently constituted the main event of the evening at men's bantamweight. We have Peter No Mercy Yan going one-on-one with Deiveson, the God of War. I'm not going to say that in Brazilian.
Yeah.
Figueiredo.
It's a great fight.
Excellent fight. 5-round fight. This is probably going to determine who's probably, maybe not next in line, but definitely going to catapult whoever is close to a title shot, in my opinion. Petr Yan here, he is 17-5, fighting out of Russia, hailing from Russia, 31 years old. Figueiredo, 24, 3-1, fighting out of Brazil, hailing from Brazil, 36 years old. Excellent fight. I am going to be leaning Petr Yan here. I'm just gonna put it down on the table. I think he's going to be the better striker for sure. I do trust his chin. I trust his footwork. I trust his combinations. I trust a lot of things about Petr Yan here. I think people are a little bit low on Petr Yan.
I think this is another market correction line.
Which is a little insane, because, I mean, he's an Aljo acting performance away from from just dominating this division, in my opinion, right?
Outside of Merab.
Yeah.
Merab made him look bad.
Merab did, Merab the machine.
Merab him.
I don't think he's got to worry about that on the Figueiredo side. I mean, he does have to worry about the grappling, right? But not to the extent he had to worry about Merab.
Or
Aljo with it. Figueiredo, listen, Figueiredo's been looking very good in this division since he's moved up. He's been doing what he needs to do to the competition. He's been doing it too. This is a very good fight. I think Figueiredo, still underrated power, could possibly hurt Yan here. I'm going to lean probably not. But what I do fear is that this is probably the best jiu-jitsu player Yan has faced. And 5 rounds, you give 5 rounds to any kind of guy with Figueiredo's level, scary. That being said, I am still going to lean Yan. I do always prefer wrestlers over grapplers. I mean, well, over jiu-jitsu guys. But in terms of a play, I'm probably going to be circling Figueiredo sub. It's just a hunch. Again, I don't know how good Yan's jiu-jitsu is. And Figueiredo's badass. I know it's not the most technical breakdown, but I think Yan should win this. If there's a play on him, maybe. But I like Figueiredo sub, depending on the line.
I'll jump in here. I don't even hate his Yan's money line this fight. And here's why. Outside of a sub, how does Figgy win this fight? Maybe a lucky punch. Not to sound horrid.
I wouldn't say lucky, but I mean, it would have to be he would have to clip him.
He would have to clip him,
yeah.
And then probably club and sub him. Figgy's jiu-jitsu is more based on like the front headlock series. He can get your back and smash you 100%. I just feel like Yan's defensive wrestling is very good. Yeah, Merab got him down. Yeah, Aljo was able to create scrambles to get to his back. I think he's going to know that.
Merab couldn't hold him down either.
Correct.
I mean, Merab, probably set the record for takedowns in that fight.
But you have to get up.
Petr Yan kept fucking getting up.
You have to get up.
Yeah.
So for me, it's like, this is not a max bet play at all, but Yan should win this fight. Probably the toughest stylistic opponent for Figgy in the top 5.
I agree.
I'll go that far. I think he has a better chance against Merab. I think he has a better chance against O'Malley. I think he has a better chance against who else is in the top? Cejudo. I think he won't fight Cejudo because Cejudo and him are cool. He has a better chance against all those guys. This guy, Yan, the one thing that you mentioned, didn't mention that I will add on top of all the good things you said about Yan, his ability to switch stances and hit you from both sides. Figgy hasn't dealt with anyone that can do that shit. His ability to download information, his ability to feint and get you thinking. This fight can be very boring, and Yan will drop a round, probably the first round. But it's 5 rounds.
Yeah, I was gonna say 1, it's 5 rounds, and 2, it's not like Figueiredo's the hottest starter either.
No,
I mean him both I guess more Yan historically a slower starter, but
yeah,
I don't think Figgy will be taking advantage of that in particular.
I agree with you, especially too cardio Yan side, wrestling. I'm gonna say Yan side, striking Yan side, power. I would say Figgy, submissions, grappling Figgy. If you have good as you've mentioned many times in this podcast, when you have a guy that has very good defensive wrestling, very good wrestling, I trust him to mitigate the jiu-jitsu guy. Brendan Moreno was able to do it. Everyone that's beaten Figgy's been able to do it, including Pantoja. I think Yan is a championship caliber fighter. I think this line is a result of him being on a skid. If he had gotten the decision against Aljo and stopped him, didn't fight Merab, or lost to Merab, but that was his only loss, and then won his other fight. Who was the other guy that he lost to? I got you right now. And beat O'Malley, which he arguably won the fucking fight. Like, I had him winning the fight because I thought he landed the better damage.
Yes, I don't disagree with you there.
This line is probably minus 400, minus 500, because you're trusting a guy who hasn't beaten, if I'm correct, I don't think Figgy's beaten a ranked contender yet. Has he? Or am I bugging?
I don't remember. I don't think so.
Oh, he beat Marlon.
Oh, Marlon, yeah.
Yes. So that's
his last fight, yeah.
That's the only guy he's beaten. He's a linear fighter. He's a guy that walks up and down. Yan is a guy who cuts angles, makes you think, will wear on you with pressure as the fight goes on. Figgy, not the best cardio guy. Yan's never been knocked out. Yan's been hit with some good shit, never been knocked out.
Yeah.
Don't be surprised if I put heavy units on this fight too. Don't be surprised. I just have a hard time believing that Figgy is going to figure it out. And this is closer to Yan's backyard than it is to Figgy's. Figgy's the one that's traveling here. I feel like all the cards are for Yan to get back on the horse here. Give me Petr Yan. I don't know how, but give me Petr Yan.
And that does it, ladies and gentlemen. We just top to bottom took care of some road to UFC, broke down the whole Macau card. Decent headliner, some underrated fights, but that's all we got. So, ladies and gentlemen, let my brother take it away.
You already know the deal, guys. Like, comment, subscribe, follow Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok.
Everybody enjoying these visuals, don't forget to like. It's been helping the algorithm. Don't forget to comment. We have been responding. Subscribe and hit that notification bell because you will always know. And, I had something clever there, but fuck it. Y'all stay up to date on that, you know what I'm saying?
And for all of our audio listeners, Spotify, Apple, Google Podcast, you already know. Episode 78.
Yes, sir.
In the books. See you guys soon for episode 79. We have a week off, so bear with us. There's not even boxing or MMA on the Thanksgiving week, so it is what it is.
Hey, happy Thanksgiving.
Yes, love you guys. Enjoy your turkey. Enjoy whatever it is that you guys eat on your Thanksgiving day. And guys, thank you for tuning in. Yes, the algorithm has been sped up. It has been. We've been rolling. We've been doing really well. Thanks to you guys. Keep it coming. Keep recommending it to people. Keep telling our bets because we've been on a fucking heater as of late. Love you guys. Holla at you guys. See you next time for episode 79. Peace.